You're out there. You're just confident.
Once more, watch. Winston Churchill once said,
"At any rate, that is what we are going to try to do."
What's up, everybody? It is I, Busty Beaver, back here with another video. And man, I feel like I haven't filmed a video like this in a while, where it's just me sitting in my room with the camera in front of me, as if it's just you and I talking face to face. But here I am. Anyways, for this video, what I want to do is I want to break down two interactions from the How to Pick Up College Girls video. I want to break down the highlights of those interactions, and then I want to show you guys the text conversations that led to the dates that I went on with those two girls. So without further ado, let's get into it. Wait, excuse me, you're from the science class, right? That I just came from, or no? Okay, right there. So real quick, notice how casually I was walking. I was just going about my day, living my life, and I just happened to spot this cute girl. And as soon as she got close enough, I immediately stopped her and started talking to her. All right, I can't count how many times I've seen guys wait for the girl to pass by and then run after them. Or even worse, just be standing against the wall, just creeping on girls and just making the overall situation very just weird and unnatural. The best thing for you to do is just, be living your life. And then when you spot that girl, boom, instantaneously approach her. The science class?
No,
are you sure?
I'm sure.
No, wait. I think you are. You're the one that's sitting. I'm just kidding. I just thought you're cute.
Thank you. I like your hair.
Thank you. I just couldn't come up with like a better way to approach you. So I'm like, oh, let me just lie to her. Okay, right there. So notice how she was starting to walk away, but instead of just letting her go, I persisted. I'm like, wait. Actually, the real reason I stopped you is because I thought you were cute and I wanted to, say hello. So that's very important, because if you go indirect with your approach, you're eventually going to have to be direct with her and tell her the real reason why you're there. You can't just let her guess why you're there, because then her mind's gonna run wild, and then she's just gonna get too, psyched in the moment and then just leave because she doesn't know what's going on. Nobody likes uncertainty. So you're gonna always have to tell her sooner or later why you're actually there. I know.
I can hear you. I was hearing music.
What, Justin Bieber?
No.
That's your favorite,
Lil
huh? Lil Baby.
Yeah.
I'm not really into him. I prefer Dub Baby.
Oh.
I feel like he's a little more up there than Lil Baby.
I don't know.
So you gotta step up your game with the music. Come on now.
I know.
All right, that right there is very important. When she told me that she was listening to a certain artist, I was very honest with her and told her that I didn't like that artist. There's a lot of guys that will just be very agreeable with the girl because they think that they have to have all these commonalities with the girl. But no, the best thing you need to do is to be honest with her, to be authentic. Express how you truly feel about a certain thing or a certain style of music or whatever it is. Always be honest, always be genuine. Are you going to your next class, or
yeah,
you going home?
Well, actually right now I don't have it until 12. I was gonna go to Starbucks.
Perfect. You have 2 minutes to flirt with me. And then, because your next class is at 12, so the universe brought us. So the universe brought us together to
ask me if I was in your science class.
Perfect.
Do you even have a class right now?
So what's also very important is always making it abundantly clear that you're there to flirt with her. You're not there to be her friend. So when she told me that she was waiting for her next class to start, I told her, perfect. Before your class starts, you and I are gonna be right here flirting with each other. I'm making it very obvious. I'm not holding anything back, and I'm saying it with 100% conviction. There's that sort of layer of dominance, if you will, because I'm telling her what is gonna happen. I'm not asking for her permission. I'm telling her, yeah, we're gonna flirt.
You're waiting for who?
My friend. He's supposed to be here, but can't find him, so.
You should text him to see where he's at.
I am texting him, but he hasn't
He's
replied.
making you wait.
I know, but while I wait, I can flirt with you and, things work out perfectly. Well, I'll walk with you for 2 minutes. We'll have a nice conversation about the universe and all that stuff. And Lil Baby. See, again with the dominance. She's like, oh, you should go and try to find your friend. And instead of saying, oh yeah, you're right, okay, well, bye. I'm like, well, while I wait for my friend, I'm gonna be right here flirting with you. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm demonstrating that I'm a confident and dominant individual, and I go for what I want. But of course, if you're a beginner, you should tread lightly on this because you don't want to come off too aggressive. But for the most part, you want to have that layer of dominance. Just don't go overboard with it. But yeah.
But do you speak Spanish at home or you guys are like...
Yo hablo español cuando quiero, pero yo hablo inglés con mi mamá.
I think you take like a Spanish class, huh? To like help you a little bit?
No, I mean, I took Spanish in high school. I took Spanish in high school. I mean, I took AP Spanish in high school.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
I kind of want to hear your Spanish now.
I don't speak Spanish.
You don't speak Spanish? The whole time I was showing out, you don't even understand what I'm saying. Come on. I'm just wasting my skills on you for nothing.
Wasting your breath.
I know. Alright, so notice when she asked me if I spoke Spanish, I didn't just give her a yes or no answer. Instead, I went ahead and showed her that I spoke Spanish by actually speaking in Spanish. And doing little things like that is what spices up the conversation. It's what makes the conversation and the interaction more fun. You know, because you don't want to fall into that interview mode by just saying yes or no to every question that's asked to you. You know, instead of telling her, why not go ahead and show her? So in this case, I spoke in Spanish, and then later on, I was trying to get her to speak Spanish to me, which also just spices up the conversation even more.
And your parents are both Hispanic.
All right, starting now, I don't understand English, so you gotta speak to me in Spanish. Okay, señorita. So,
But will you understand me if I speak Spanish?
yo no entiendo ese lenguaje, so me tienes que hablar en el lenguaje que yo entiendo.
I'm trying to understand you.
You can't.
No. Can you tell? Like, I don't.
You do understand me. You just want to think of a very witty line to deliver, but you can't think of one, so you're just saying you don't understand me.
You caught me.
I know. I'm a very good. I'm very good at reading like social cues and all that. Like I can read people
like
very well.
Zodiac signs and not like your like.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're full of surprises today.
I know. All right. So again, with the playful dominance, I told her, starting now, I don't understand Spanish, so you have to speak to me in Spanish. And then when she was still speaking to me in English, I was replying in Spanish and telling her that I don't understand what she's saying because she has to speak to me in Spanish for me to understand. So again, I'm being playful, but at the same time, I'm being the dominant one by telling her what she needs to do. But of course, I can't stress enough, playfully. I was doing so playfully.
Who's your friend?
My friend?
Yeah.
Let me see.
You didn't even like pick up on him?
Well, he's not, no, he doesn't text me. I have no idea.
Come on.
So you're just trying to get rid of me, huh? You're like, where's your friend?
No, I'm just worried for you. Like, you're just walking around. What if you're tired?
What if I'm tired?
Yeah. I don't
Are
know
you
either.
tired? I feel like, because you've been running through my mind all day. Ha, pickup lines. So most guys in this situation would see that as the girl trying to get rid of them. Because she asked about my friend again. She's like, where's your friend? You should go find him. But how did I handle that? I straight up just called her out on it. I'm like, you're just trying to get rid of me, aren't you? But I did so in a very nonchalant way. Because if I was overly reactive, then I would have just come off as insecure, and then that just would have killed the whole vibe. But I reacted nonchalantly, but at the same time I called her out on it. I'm like, man, you're just trying to get rid of me, aren't you? And then she's like, no, I'm just worried for you. What if you're tired? And then the first thing that popped into my head was a pickup line. So what did I do? I just went ahead and delivered a pickup line. I said, what did I say? I said, are you tired? Because you've been running through my mind all day. Ha! And notice my emotion when I'm delivering it too. I'm not saying it like I'm expecting it to land and for her to be like, oh my God, that's so smooth. She was like, wow, that's corny. But I'm having fun with it. And that vibe itself, she's feeling it. And she's like, all right, this guy knows how to have fun. He doesn't take himself too seriously. And I'm actually enjoying this conversation. I am gonna go this way though, because I do have to, meet him up. But before you go and get your Starbucks, I suggest we should exchange phone numbers. I will send you one text, perhaps in Spanish.
Maybe if I answer in Spanish.
I mean, you have to, like that's imperative, like you answer in Spanish.
But how do I know you're not gonna go on Google Translate and like translate what I said?
So right there, I'm already getting her phone number, right? But notice that I don't ask for her phone number. I don't say, hey, so do you want to exchange numbers with me? I say, all right, this is what I suggest. I suggest that you and I exchange phone numbers. I'll send you one text and then we'll just go from there. But as I'm doing that, I'm also adding that layer of playfulness. So I said, I'm gonna text you in Spanish and then you gotta reply in Spanish. So doing so makes it seem like I'm actually there to have a good time with her and I'm actually just vibing with her, instead of making it seem like I'm just there for a phone number and that's it. Because that's what I feel a lot of guys tend to do. Like as soon as she says yes to the phone number, they just grab the phone number and bounce. But what you want to do is keep that fun going, you know, keep up that good, fun vibe. What is this? Oh, I'll just text myself.
You're not cold?
I'm Canadian.
No, I forgot. This is like good weather for you.
It's perfect
No,
weather.
it doesn't work.
It doesn't
like
work.
the worst.
I'm gonna take you to Canada one day and you're gonna get used to it.
I gotta like.
You're gonna know what cold is.
Fuck no. I hate the cold. You're telling me this is not cold for you at all? It's not cold?
No, not at all. But then I'm gonna have this on, so. All right, so I texted myself, "Hey cutie." So, you know, the conversation has begun.
All right then.
All right, another hug, because I'm very affectionate.
Get home safe wherever you go.
You too, enjoy
and
your
friend.
coffee.
Thank you.
All right. So again, you can't see, but as I'm putting in her number, I'm still keeping the conversation going. I'm not just trying to get her number and bounce. I'm talking to her, I'm still vibing, and then I even slip in the us mentality. I tell her, I'm gonna take you to Canada one day, and you're gonna know what cold is, because she was complaining how it was really cold that day. So remember, just keep the fun vibe going. The goal isn't a phone number. The goal is to build a genuine connection with that girl. All right, that was that interaction. Now I'm gonna show you guys the text conversation with that girl. Okay, so after the "Hey cutie," I texted her a few hours later, and I texted her in Spanish, like I said I would in the interaction. And in translation, I said, "Hi, it's me. We'll start our conversation in Spanish. Are you still at school?" And then she replied, "Come on now." That was definitely looked up on Google Translate. And then I said, "How could you tell?" She's like, "Disappointing me. You can tell right when I read it." And I'm like, "Psh, whatever. You still never spoke a word in Spanish to me." And then she's like, "I was just surprised you had some Latino in you." And then I replied, "As you said, I'm full of surprises. Anywho, I have a proposal for you." And then she replies, "All right, what's your proposal?" And then I said, "I propose, since you love coffee, that you and I should go out for a cafecito this weekend." She's like, "I forgot your name though." And then I told her, "That's strike 3 for you." And then I continued, "It's Leo, like the Zodiac, remember?" She's like, "Psh, I knew that. Just had to get a quick reminder." And then I said, "Excuses, but now that that's cleared up, this Leo fella would like to go on a coffee date with you this weekend. Do you accept?" And then she's like, "Aw, so sweet. I just need to make sure that I don't work." She's like, "I do. Give me your IG." And then I replied, "Call in sick if you do work, preferably Friday." And then I continued, "I don't use IG anymore." And then she's like, "Ooh, I do work Friday. I'm just not sure about the 2 days after." She continued, "And what, how come?" And then I said, "Okay, let me know about Saturday, because I might be busy Sunday." And I continued, "I find it to be a distraction." She said, "I mean, you're right, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone say they don't. There you go, full of surprises." And then I said, "At this point, you just gotta expect to be surprised by me. Do you play sports, by the way?" And then right here, she just started telling me about how she, played softball in high school. And then I told her a little bit how I played sports in high school too, but I quit. And we just talked a little bit about that. And then finally, I think a few days go by, and then I asked her, "By the way, so are you working this weekend?" She's like, "I am sorry. I get out at 7, but I had an appointment to retint one of my windows. I had messed up." And then I said, "Wait, for what day?" She's like, "Saturday. I'm not sure about Sunday." And then I'm like, "You're breaking my heart," and her name. I continued, "I'm busy Sunday, but I'm sure I can spare an hour after 4 if you can do it. We can have a quick cafecito and just walk and talk for an hour, maybe tell you some jokes." So I feel like that's important right there, because notice how I'm being very persistent by giving her multiple options. So I'm not just giving up. If she's busy one day, then I could be like, "All right, well, how about this day?" If she's still busy, you can then start throwing in things like, "Well, let's just hang out for 1 hour." Clearly you can spare 1 hour just having a nice little coffee with me. And then you can just make it sound as reasonable as you can, and then, hopefully she'll be like, "All right, well, that's reasonable. Why not?" So she went ahead and said, "That actually will work. I can meet up with you somewhere." And I'm like, "Cool, do you live near Seaside?" She's like, "Ish, I get there in like 25. And then I'm like, "How close are you to Granada Hills? I think we can meet at a Starbucks there, get our coffee, then drink our coffee at a nearby park." And then she's like, "Maybe like half an hour or so. You have class on Mondays, right? Unless you want to do it an easier way and just go after class." And then I'm like, "Yeah, it's probably more ideal to just meet at school. What's your schedule like Monday?" And then she tells me her schedule, and I'm like, "Perfect. I'm good after that time, so we'll just meet up around that time. We can meet up where we first met. And then she's like, sounds like a plan. I even forgot how you look now. And then I'm like, just look for a pink hair dude. She's like, oh yeah, haha. What's your original hair color? And then right here, we just start talking about hair colors. And then she actually sent me a picture of how she had her hair once. And then yeah, we just banter about that. And finally, it's the day where we agreed to meet up. I said, hey, let's meet in front of the library where we first met when you're done with class. And then she's like, okay. And then I told her what I was wearing. And then we went ahead and met up, had a nice little cafecito. All right, on to the next interaction. I can't find, oh, there it is. If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. That's my line, I'm just kidding. What's your name? That's my intro. I thought you were gonna laugh at that, but it seems like
it's good. I thought you were gonna have me sign something. I was like, everyone's making me sign stuff.
No, I just said a funny line to you.
You're good.
Oh, you're not from here? All right, the first thing and probably the most obvious is it doesn't matter what you say, as you just saw. I straight up went on my phone and delivered a pickup line that I Googled, and I just read a random one off my phone. And the second thing that I want you to notice is silence. Silence isn't awkward unless you think it's awkward. Like 100% Mexican.
100%. My mom, my dad.
You speak Spanish?
Yeah.
So, si hablamos español.
Sí, puedo hablar español.
Me vas a entender.
Yeah.
Eso sí.
Everybody thinks I'm Arabic, and I'm like, no, I'm Mexican.
See, again with the Spanish like the last interaction. So instead of saying, oh, okay, after she told me that she speaks Spanish, I went ahead and spoke in Spanish to her. And then she actually went ahead and spoke in Spanish to me. So that just made the conversation that much more interesting. And what I also want you to notice is the emotion that I'm conveying. Like when I found out that she spoke Spanish, I expressed how I truly felt. I was like, oh, she speaks Spanish. I was expressing how I truly felt in that moment.
Right now I'm going to the library.
In the library to study for something?
Yeah. I have to study for my chemistry and then math.
Well, before you go to the library, I'm going to attempt to flirt with you for like 2 minutes. If I fail miserably,
it works.
if
it's
you know, if
it's
I feel
worth a try, right?
if
it's worth a try.
Exactly, if I fail miserably, you know, you're gonna go to the library and just be like, and just think back like that guy was just horrible. Or if I succeed, you're gonna be like, wow, this guy was so dreamy. Brad Pitt who? Like, I know, like he just swept me off my feet. So again, when I first approached her, it was indirect, but eventually I told her the real reason why I was there, and it was to hit on her. So you always want to state your intentions. And notice also while doing so, I injected that humor into it. So I was like, if it goes well and I succeed, then you're gonna be like, wow, you know, this guy was great. But if I go ahead and fail, you're just gonna be thinking about this all day when you're studying at the library. You're gonna be thinking, man, that guy was horrible. So I'm being playful and I'm injecting that layer of humor just to make the conversation that much more fun.
I'm gonna watch it.
Do you not watch like romantic like movies like that?
I haven't watched that many. I watched it, but I haven't watched that many. You know what I mean?
You like horror movies? I feel like you're like a horror movie
I get
gal.
scared of them, but I want to.
All right, notice how I make an assumption about her. So I said, you look like you're a horror movie gal. So instead of just asking her, I make an assumption. And I feel like that's a key to avoiding the whole interview mode overall, is by making statements or assumptions instead of asking a question. So you're into like aliens?
Yeah.
Planets, solar systems?
Yeah, that type of stuff, but I need to watch more movies.
Okay.
I want to.
Yeah, when I was in middle school, my dream was to be an astronaut. Like that was my dream. I was like, I'm gonna go to NASA, and I had an aunt who actually had like a connection to NASA. And but that dream died. No, like I'm just not into that anymore. It's not the dream. No.
What do you want to be?
All right, right there, I started sharing a story about my childhood, about a goal that I had as a kid. And I feel like a big mistake that guys make when they're trying to hit on a girl is they'll be asking all these questions to try to get the girl to do the talking. But they forget that sharing things about you is actually going to make her a lot more comfortable with you because you start becoming a real person in her mind. You cease to be a stranger and you start becoming someone that she actually feels like she knows. So don't hold back telling her stories about yourself. You know, go ahead and tell her about the things that you used to do as a kid, or the goals that you had in high school, or the things that you've done at parties with your friends. Don't hold back in sharing those stories. You know, feel free to do so. Psychology major?
I'm thinking of going into psychology, but right now I'm chemistry.
Chemistry? Alright, that was very, very subtle, but notice the little high five I gave her. High fives, shoulder touches are all secrets to building comforts and to actually lead you to making bigger types of physical advances. So always make sure that you try and give subtle touches, but of course you have to read her. If you notice that she gets uncomfortable with any types of touches, then take a step back and just avoid touching her until you feel like she's a bit more comfortable, and then you can go ahead and try again. But you can't really go wrong with high fives, so I feel like high fives are a perfect place to start with the whole physical touches. Information, and if you do, you know, you'll segue into you know, what do you do for fun? All right, notice how we were talking about one thing and then I abruptly just switched the topic and then started talking about something else. You don't need a smooth transition when you're having a conversation.
And I want to get into tricks. I don't know any, but I'm trying to get into it.
I used to skate, and I actually still know how to kickflip, like basic tricks, you know, ollie.
Know that, but that's what I'm learning. I'm learning.
There we go. The universe, the planets brought us together just so I can teach you. That's what happened, you know? Yeah, I mean, we'll start with the basics, of course, you know, like because you know how to ride. So we'll start with the ollie, because that one's just, you know,
that's
pop,
what everybody
slide.
tells me to start with.
All right, right there, there's a bit of the us mentality, because she brought up how she wanted to start skateboarding, and I actually used to skate back when I was younger. So if the girl ever brings up something that you're actually familiar with or something that you used to do as a kid or whatever, bring it up and then try to find a way so it's now both of you doing that thing. And also, if there is a common interest, you can use that common interest to talk about a potential hangout with her. And that's exactly what I did here. I told her, all right, well, I used to skate and I still know how to do some tricks, therefore I can teach you. And the more details about it, the better. You know, paint a picture in her mind of what hanging out with you will potentially be like. The clearer the picture, the more she'll look forward to actually hanging out with you. But we'll get there. Well, I'm gonna make you into a pro. You're going to.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Again, notice the subtle physical touch. I'm like, we'll get there. And I try to tap her. It was a bit weird. I kind of missed the shoulder, I guess. But I subtly tapped her arm. I'm like, we'll get there. And it was very natural because of what we were talking about. So always look for those sort of openings to make those subtle physical touches. He has music on and everything.
No, but he knows what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Really?
No, but that's cool.
We should go join him. Let's go.
No, we're good. I'm good. I gotta have the library light.
Dance and then library.
Library, then dance. Awesome.
I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Thanks so much.
All right, right here, so like probably 20 feet away from us, there is just some random dude dancing by himself. And then we started talking about dancing because I asked her if she knew how to dance. So I was trying to use that guy as an excuse to link arms with her and go and join the guy in his dance competition with himself. But as you saw, she said no. And how did I handle that? I was unreactive. I didn't go, come on, let's go. As soon as she's like, no, I'm like, all right. And I still tried. I'm like, well, let's dance first and then you can go to the library. And then she's like, library first and then dance. So she wasn't completely denying it, but she was denying it just right now. But she wasn't denying it for the future. So you don't want to be too pushy with it. If she's not really having it, then just kind of let it go and then maybe come back to it later. I'll let you go to the library. You know what? I want to show you dance real quick before you go. Okay? No, like you're gonna join me. It's a very easy, I promise. It's very easy. I'm gonna put this down actually. So what it's called the waltz, but it's a different type of waltz. So you ready?
Okay.
So
I'm jumping back.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, so what we're gonna do?
Okay.
This leg goes towards towards me.
Okay.
Okay. Now this one goes to the side.
Okay.
And then boom.
Okay.
Now this one goes behind you.
Behind?
Yeah. This goes to the side.
Okay.
And then boom. You got it?
Yeah.
One more time, because you kind of messed up.
Okay.
So it's basically a box, like think of a box. Okay, ready? So with music.
Okay. That's good.
Oh, wrong leg.
This one?
Yeah, the other leg.
Okay, that works.
And then twist.
Okay.
And you are a
works.
professional waltzer.
Thank you.
Wow,
I
amazing. See, I'm glad that you are a professional waltzer now. Alright, so if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you've seen me dance with multiple girls in my videos. And honestly, to me, it's just funny to do. But at the same time, there's so many benefits to just dancing with girls that you just met. Because one, it shows that you're a confident dude. and you don't care what people think about you. Number 2, you stand out because she most likely has never experienced that in her life. And 3, because you're being physical with her, and like I said earlier, that's building up more comfort to want to then continue being physical with you. So the more touchy now, the more touchy later. Before you go, I would, because I do have to, teach you the skateboarding.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta, exchange. Where's my phone?
I'll give you my phone. Thanks for your number.
And I'll send you maybe a meme. I'm not sure if you're into memes.
I'm into memes.
Yeah, I'll send you some of my favorites.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And then, yeah, you can maybe perhaps reciprocate that, send me some of your favorites.
I have some.
We can have a whole conversation of just memes.
I'll just send you memes. I
Perfect.
send everybody memes.
Perfect.
You know what? I'll join him maybe one day, When they get the shorts, I'll teach him the walk. Maybe he doesn't know it.
I'm sure he doesn't know it. No one knows it like I do. Come on now. You're the only person, so. All right, notice right there, the way I go for her number is by bringing back the topic of skateboarding. Because I did tell her that I was gonna teach her. So I said, before you go, we should exchange numbers because of course, like we talked about, I gotta teach you how to skate. And then she's like, oh, okay, yeah, because we did talk about that. So therefore, her giving out her number wasn't a weird thing because we had already talked about it. So she pretty much already saw that coming. And again, like the last interaction, you noticed how as I'm getting her number, we're still conversing. We're still talking because I'm not there to make it seem like I'm just there for a phone number and that's it. I'm there to get to know her and build a genuine connection with her. And then the last thing, I paint a picture for her again about what our hangout is gonna be like. So then she can go ahead and actually look forward to it. All right, well, that's the end of that interaction. Now let's get into the text conversation with that girl. So after the hey cutie, a couple hours later, I texted her, hey, are you still studying at the library? She's like, no, I was just studying with a friend. And then I replied, did you show your friend the new dance you learned? She said, damn, I should have. I'll give her the dance lesson next time. And then I replied, once you do, we can start a dance group and go on tour with Beyonce. She's like, I don't know if I'm dance group ready yet. And then I said, with me as your dance mentor, you'll be ready in no time. She's like, for real, I'll just be like that guy outside the library from now on. And I'm like, that's the goal. And then I continued, by the way, I just remembered we gotta send each other memes. And then she sent me a bunch of memes, but you can't see because I had transferred this conversation to my other phone and for some reason the pictures didn't transfer, so but just pretend like there's pictures that she sent me. So she sent me a bunch of memes. And then I'm like, haha, something tells me you like cats. Cause oh yeah, cause there were cat memes. She's like, they're pretty cute. And I'm like, true, I like cats. Anywho, I have a proposal for you. She's like, what's the proposal? I said, I propose you and I grab a coffee this weekend and have a skate session afterwards. I'll bring my skateboard. She said, I accept your proposal. I think I'm free on Saturday. And I'm like, great, gonna get you ready for the X Games. And I continued, we'll set it for Saturday then. I'll text you mañana about details and stuff. Just wanna make sure I'm not supposed to be doing something that day. She's like, okay, sounds good. And then I guess the day before we were supposed to hang out, I'm like, hey, so I'm pretty much good for tomorrow. It's 3 p.m. Cool. She's like, okay, that works. Oh, and by the way, where did you want to meet? And I'm like, do you live near CSUN? She's like, yeah, I live 15 minutes away. And I'm like, cool, let's meet on this street. She's like, would it be cool or would it be okay if we meet on campus instead because I'm more familiar with that area? And I'm like, yeah, we can do that. Let's meet up where we first met near the library. She's like, okay, thank you, that works. I'm like, cool, I'll see you there at 3 then. Bring skate shoes. She's like, wait, do I have to bring my skateboard? And I'm like, if you want, but I have a skateboard if you just want to use mine instead. She's like, okay, thank you. And I can mostly be watching you so I don't die or something. I'm like, sounds good. Let me know when you're on your way. She's like, I'm on my way. I'm like, okay, I just got here. And then she told me she's 5 minutes away. And then finally we met up and yeah, we hung out. So yeah, those are the conversations and those are the infield breakdowns. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. And I hope you go out and continue to elevate and learn and better yourselves as individuals. So yeah, till next time, thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later.